just so much beauty all around us, so much goodness that we are just absolutely blind to. You know, there was a time that I used to teach in the military what we called master resiliency training. And in that was a specific course that would last the duration of the couple of weeks course called Hunt the Good Stuff. And in that, as I come to realize just how negative in nature we as people are, that it takes intentionality to actually find the good stuff in life. Hey, good morning, and welcome to this week's Lively Bible Encounter, entitled, Where Have You Seen God? You know, in all of my training, and even while teaching this course called Master Resiliency Training, and being intentional about hunting the good stuff, is what I have found most prominent is that we as people become negative in nature, that in everything we do, and the things that we see, the things that we have happen to us, no matter what it be, is more times than not, is we are negative in our response to it. Whenever we look at how things unfold in life, is we are negative. When we see the actions of somebody else or ourselves, is more times than not, is we look at it through a negative lens. And in all of that, I come to the question of how do we change that dynamic? How do we really see the good stuff in life without actually having to hunt for it, to look for it intentionally? And that is where Life Meets Bible this morning, is in the idea of where have you seen God today? And to answer that is there's only one real way to answer where have you seen God today. One is you first must know who God is and where you might possibly find Him at. And the part where Life Meets Bible comes right out of the very first page of our Bible, right out of the first book, first chapter, Genesis chapter 1. And whenever we turn into that book specifically and we begin to look, we find such things as this, and it's that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And so immediately, whenever we look at our immediate surroundings, we're like, wow, there's God. Is that He's in this field. He's in the trees behind me. He's in the wind that would blow the grass. That He's in the changing of the color of leaves. That He would show us that there's newness. That the old will fade away, that new will come on. And even more is that all the things of this earth, He shows us annually just how everything is designed to fade away. That just as the leaves would fade and fall from the trees, that so will the earth one day. And just as they are made new, that there will be made new a heaven. And even more in that, where do I find God at? Is He talks about how formless and empty the earth was. Was being the key word, that God said, let there be light. And then He goes on, God said, let there be a vault between waters to separate from water, and that vault being the sky. And as I look to it, that I see the beautiful clouds that would cause rain or snow or hail, a beautiful lightning storm, that I would see the blues of the sky. He would go on to say, let there be water under the sky. Let dry ground appear. Let the land produce vegetation and the vegetables that we eat, the grass in the ground that the deer and the buffalo might graze upon, the vegetation of the trees. How exciting is that we can walk out right now and say, I saw God today. That is something to be happy about, that you can walk out of your front door and be like, yep, there's God. God is there. He's prominent. He's in my life. He's everywhere today, that God is with me. But He doesn't stop there. He goes on. God said, let there be lights in the sky, day and night. So as we walk out and it's morning, there's God. We walk out and it's night, there's God. And He goes on, God said, let birds fly above the earth. God said, let the land produce living creatures, making wild animals. God said, let us make mankind. And therefore God created mankind in his own image. So as we get to see one another, as we see the wild beast of the earth roaming about, the birds flying through the sky, that we can say, I saw God today. And he goes on even more and saying all these things where God created, that God did this. God said, let there be all these beautiful things. And we sit back and say, where have I seen God today? But because I am so negative in nature, I don't see God. I can't find God in my life. I can't see the good stuff. Let me challenge you this morning and ask you, where have you seen God today? Where's the good stuff? Hunt the good stuff today. Let's become intentional of not only hunting the good stuff, but finding God in everything we see, everything we do, and everything we produce. Leave a comment for me this morning if you would. Let me know, where have you seen God today? And if you like this, and if you don't like it, share it for me if you would, because I want to hear where the rest of the world is seeing God today. Not only in creation, not only in the things that God said, let there be, but also as we see God in the hospitals. Believe it or not, we see God in the school system. Believe it or not, we can see God in politics if we only look for God and hunt the good stuff. Where have you seen God today?